Since 2012, there have been 82 teams that were 1-3 after the first 4 games. 11 of them made the playoffs. Only 2 made it to the divisional round. None of them have advanced beyond that. Browns are currently 1-3. Probability to make the playoffs 13.4%. A wild card win 2.4%. And I looked at that and I'm like, wow. Jim, I can hear Jim Morris somewhere going, playoffs. Let's get to let's get a win and then get to 500, and then maybe we can start thinking about the playoffs.
I was gonna say you had to squeeze this in at the end just to make sure everybody on their Monday knew what what odds are against the Browns this year, the rest of the way. But yeah, I mean, like we know some of these things. Like there's always the stats that are thrown out there about starting 0-2. Browns are able to avoid that at least. But now it's not the 1-3 odds that you just threw up there. Like that's not any more encouraging. It's hard to do, and I understand like that can become a rallying cry for teams. Is like why not us? Other teams have done it. Why can't we be the next to do it? The Bengals always seem to get out to these rough starts and then still find themselves in the playoff picture come December. So it's certainly doable. But with the way that the team's playing right now, and that's the thing that makes it worse. It's not like they're 1-3, but you've seen signs that there's something there. Like 2 weeks back, that when the Bengals lost their second game of the season, it was like, okay, they lost, but they went toe to toe with the Chiefs, so there was at least something to feel good about. This is like the Browns. For the Browns, they're 1-3, and it just feels like everything is there's so much to sort out. There's still so many issues that it's hard to see how they overcome all the odds of history, plus all the problems that they have to then end up back in the playoff picture, plus playing in a tough division and a tough conference and a tough schedule. It just seems like so much is mounting against them. So I don't mean to be a downer and add to the pessimism here, but it's they're certainly going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem is 2 of their losses are to the Giants and the Raiders. Those were games you thought were,
Yeah.
70% wins.
I'll put a positive spin on it though, Dave, because they're 2 of their losses. Well, because one of the 2 of their losses, yeah, actually are against NFC teams. The one benefit you have is that there's a lot of AFC opponents still in front of you. You still have all your division games. If you somehow swept all those, like that would be huge for getting you back in the conversation. So everything they want to accomplish is still very much in front of them, especially when you talk about AFC playoff, tiebreakers and all these different things. That's still on the table for them. It's just hard to envision because of the rough start that they're able to, win some of these games that we sort of consider toss-ups or 50-50 within the division and otherwise. So again, yeah, it's an uphill battle, but that's the one positive nugget I'll leave the fans with is that 2 of your losses are against AFC teams, and you still got a lot of AFC teams on the schedule, and those games carry just at least a little bit more weight because it's the conference. It matters in terms of the conference seedings when you get closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, and it puts all the pressure on your divisional games. You almost have to go 5-1. Certainly 4-2, maybe 5-1 in the AFC North.